Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to Space Chick Crypto. I am so excited today because I have Mr. Jin here in the space cabin. I'm super excited to hear from him, and I have some questions, and I know y'all do as well. I have some friends out here that have bought some of these NFTs that we're going to be talking about. So I hope y'all are coming through in the chat, or I sent out, a couple links. Y'all come on through because you are now investors of Mr. Jin. I'm super excited for y'all. I'm super excited for us. So let's bring Mr. Jin in without any further ado. Mr. Jin, what is up?
Yeah.
You doing okay today?
It's the actual face behind the name.
This is
How are you?
Mr. Jin, everybody. So I am super honored that he is here in the space cabin. So this is your first time, coming on screen.
It is.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for coming on in here. I'm super honored. We have a lot going on with this project. Like, you guys just launched these NFTs. Everything's been picking up super fast with this company. I say company. Do you say project or company with this?
We call the Gin production a company, and we call the NFT side of it a project, because even though it's the same thing, but we try to distinguish between the two.
That's good. That's
good. It's again we're actually internal structuring, because we obviously have a bar and a pub and stuff as well. So we're internally restructuring our own company as well, to keep that as a third entity rather than everything in one basket. So yeah, it is what it is. Right now, it's just a fantastic space. What can I say?
You're like, I'm in the business for selling gin. I remember you said that one day in our space. We asked you something, and you're like, look, the NFTs are great, and this is perfect. This is why blockchain is here. So you can help, get these beautiful companies with awesome networking, amazing people, get these lifted up off the ground. Everything's already set. Just boop, here you go. Welcome NFT space into something beautiful right here. I want to say hi to the chat really quick. I don't want to leave anybody out whatsoever. We got Crypto Benny. Oh, I love Crypto Benny. He says, I won't make it to the live stream, but I love Mr. Jin. I'm glad he came through and said that. That's awesome. Shout out to Mr. Jin. Tim. Oh, Tim, I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on through. He says, hit that like button. That's right, y'all. Hit that like and follow me on my new Twitter. It's in the description box below. I hope. I know I have all your official links in the description box below, but I hope that's the right one for me. What is up? The Smiling Pup Company is here. What is up? Hello. That's what we're going to get into as well. We're going to check out your website and everything. I know that Boss Fam from the Vault Army was going to buy one of the NFTs. Jen Token has a couple. She wants to add more to hers as well. We got F Joe Crypto. So I'm just waiting for those two to come on through the chat. I know they'll have some questions or some shout outs for sure. F Joe, let's freaking go. Westside Ian, thank you so much for the follow on Twitter. Thank you. And we got Mara. She knows exactly what's going on with Mr. Jin. So she's been tuning into all the spaces that you guys have been participating in, which is super important. Because I had asked you before on the NFT space, like, what's the longevity of this project? What are y'all planning to do to market it? Because obviously you have a product, but you've been doing a damn good job. You had a YouTuber actually test your product. Can you tell us a little bit about how all that went down with that? I love that he did it.
Okay, well, yeah, his name is Bobby Freeman, I believe. Yeah, that's right. No nonsense gin, and we didn't tell him, ask him, pay him. We didn't tell him to do anything. We quite simply, or I quite simply, from my personal account, just went onto a couple of his older videos and just said, "Oh, have you heard about this new gin? It's really good. You might be worth a try. I have heard they've got some other crazy flavors. I'll let you know how it goes." A month went by, or something like that. Nothing happened. Then I said, "Oh, they've come up with a crazy pineapple one. It's definitely worth a try. Let me know what you think." And left it a month, another month and a half, and the next thing you know, the signature Mr. Jin video just dropped out of nowhere off of his channel, and I got a notification. So obviously he's just gone online, ordered it, and it's just turned up. Well, since then we figured out that he actually did place an order for all 3 bottles, so he does actually have them all, and he's currently in the process of reviewing them, but he's spacing it out so it's not all in one go. But yeah, he was and since then I've actually spoken to him as well at length, because there's a couple of other things that we're working on that we'd love for him to collaborate with us on, being an actual gin rather than just the NFTs. Can't hear you.
I'm glad it was organic, that it was actually somebody who tested the product, who actually, because that was my first question. I was like, okay, I used to drink, back in my 20s quite a bit. I'm not a connoisseur, but I know how I do have some friends that love, gin, and they love certain spirits that they're really into, or they make their own beer. And so I live here in Austin, Texas, so there's a lot of that goes on around here. So my first thing was, okay, well, how does it taste? And this guy right here, I saw a couple of his other videos. I wanted to see, okay, is he like this with all the gins? Is he saying good things about all of them? And he was very honest about all his reviews, and that's what I appreciated. So it was organic. He did it, all on his own. He loved it. He loved the product, everybody. Go check it out. Go sub to his channel. And now you're, networking. That's how good networking even further with him. So that shows how good the product was, everybody, because that was a concern I had from my Scottish friends, my UK friend. No, they said, hey, this is a very, cutthroat business over here. That they have to be really good. So what are y'all doing different? What are y'all doing different over there?
See, so first thing was, this recent video is done regarding the strawberry gin. It's he made a comparison, no input in his videos on what he's comparing to whatsoever. I have to make that very clear. And he's gone and compared it to the Beefeater strawberry. Now, me personally, before we took our gin out, I love Beefeater strawberry. For me, it's not strawberry, it's that lacy sweet. For me, it's an amazing drink.
You're making me want some.
Compared it to that, I was just like, no, he's not. No, I'm not going to use the words I used, but I went great. Because that was like, that's where I would love to compare myself to, not as a brand, but as actual drink. Mm-hmm. Because for me, the Beefeater strawberry was an amazing drink. And when he turns around and this is the next level, that for me honestly took my breath away. I was shocked.
I think it's so important to bring this up. Is that what you're drinking right now? Is it some gin?
I'm not. I've actually spent the last 4 days in hospital, so I'm actually currently drinking. I'm actually drinking soft drinks currently.
You're like, wait a minute. Not right now. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
It's Monday tomorrow, so maybe it's a new week. You never know.
I'm glad you're okay, though. Oh my goodness, and you're here. That's what I'm saying. That's another good. Okay, I'm glad you're okay. But y'all, this is something that shows his character. He's continuing to go. He could be on the couch just chilling out, like, screw everybody. I got, I'm here, thank goodness, and I don't need to do anything right now, but he's on a live stream. And this is his first one, too. So, this is a big deal. You continue to grow.
I'm a very simple and straightforward guy. I'll even show you, look, this is me in my backyard. I'm literally quite a simple guy, have very simple life, but for me, this project, and I will call it a product and a project, because I won't call it Mr. Jin, because there's a lot more behind this than just Mr. Jin, and it's a passion, and that's crucial for anything. That I'm sure if you asked Richard Branson what his opinion was on Virgin, I'm sure if you ask Bill Gates what his opinion is on Microsoft, I'm by no way comparing myself to that caliber.
Hey,
but I want to be there one day.
Hey, you never know. You never know. They could be serving this, at the Buckingham Palace and the White House and stuff. You never know. These gift packages are beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, I know. You're like, y'all, he's got a lot of stuff in, the works right now. If you can't tell, he's even here. He's like, I'm a busy man. We have a good question right here. Can we get this product in the USA?
I dropped into a live stream, I think literally 5 days ago, 6 days ago, and there's about 3-4 people in there, or I probably ended up towards the end of it, and I've had the 4 or 5 people over that were in that stream. I've just said, send me over your addresses, and I'm going to send you out some bottles. For me, it works out in my favor in the sense that I can actually run a practical test. I'd love for everybody to just drop me addresses and I can give everybody bottles of gin, but fortunately I can't.
You're like, I can't do that with all y'all.
So I've got those 4 or 5 addresses that they were supposed to have gone already, but because I ended up in hospital, I haven't done them yet. So next week they'll probably be going out. It's just I want to make sure they do get there. I want to make sure they get there without any customs to be paid over there. See what the process is and how it works to practically do it on a retail scale. Because as you know, export and commercial side, we've already got our partnerships in place with Empire Drinks and Global Drinks.
Okay, and that's the next thing that we're gonna hit on. But I have to tell them, we got to tell them first, like where they can get one of these NFTs, because I already know some people are like, okay, where do I dip in? Where do I start looking around, surfing around while y'all are talking? So let's give them a spot to check this out while they're listening to us. Just, put us up in a little box on your phone. Continue listening because this guy's got a lot of information. Check out what Scottish Crypto says. While I pull this up, I'm going to pull up your NFT. And I'm going to drop the link, everybody, in here. Scottish Crypto. He's actually one of the ones I was talking to about the gin in the UK. Let me see here. We did have some people ask some good questions here about the NFTs as well. Like, why is there 2 different ones?
Okay. So when we initially started, we had a signature black, almost like a black box with the brand and the logo, because it was about the utility, never about the image. And when we ended up with our partnership with David Arnott, we came up with an idea where maybe we can convert the NFTs from that simple black box with the tie to the actual 3 bottles. The bottle on the right with the David Arnott, that's actually his ceramic signature. So that's actually a signed piece by him. Only 1,000 in the market, as you're aware. And that's the kind of, because he loves this project, and he's very much involved. And like I said in a couple of spaces, he gets very excited, and he's like, we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do that. I'm just like, I know I was fast, but how the hell do I keep up with you? So sometimes we just like, okay, we need, all these are really good ideas. We need to prioritize and get them in the right order. And this was a good way to start of kind of. So in terms of value, the other NFT, not the one that's on the screen now, the other one has no value. Please don't buy it. That is actually set to expire within the next 15 days anyway. So that will be coming off the market.
Mm-hmm. So this one is the one.
This one is the one. And this one is the one that the dividends get paid based on.
Okay, let me drop this one, y'all. Hold on one second. Let's drop this one. There you go. So the 3 bottles, everybody, in case you're tuning in, listening in, and you're going to come back later. Wait, I think somebody's at the doorbell. Hold on. No, okay. I thought somebody was here at the space cabin. Somebody else, 1 second. Okay, here y'all go. Here's the link to this page right here. In USD, $305. Keep that in mind while we're talking about all of this. I'm telling you right now, it's a great investment, in my opinion, great company, great project, because now we're going to talk about the partnerships that you have going on. You were talking about David Arnott. Do you want to talk about him? Do you want to talk about your other 2 that you have going? I mean, you have a lot going on. How many? Okay, first of all, hold on, back up. How many do you have out so far? Do you know, or like 4 or 5?
Partnerships.
Yeah.
Empire Drinks, Global Drinks, David Arnott, uh, one of the football teams.
Vol Inu.
So we have 6, and we have another 5 in conversation.
Okay. I like that. I love that, because then that helps with the marketing side as well. I like that you're networking. The marketing now is going to come into play with each one of these. What can you give us a quick, like with each one of these, how are they important? What are they bringing? Because I know this is a good company. I already know. I did my research. Everybody check out the video. Check out the video I did, and check out also Chaka Crypto. Check out all the Mr. Jin videos. We got Chaka in the house. What is up, sir? Salute to you. Thank you for coming on by. Tell us with each one of these, sir.
Okay.
What are they bringing to the table?
So Global Drinks and Empire Drinks, they work in collaboration. They deal with, like I said, I'm trying to see if I can get the bottles to the US without any customs or duty and get it cleared on this side, while they actually deal with the exports on the larger scales. I did ask them for a few nuggets, as we call them, as to what's in the pipeline and what's going on, and they reluctantly did give me a little bit of information soon before we actually went live. So I'm literally just going to scan through it and tell you right now, because they're dropping me messages as we speak.
Oh, so this is a little alpha. Okay, I'll be quiet. I'm going to mute myself. Go ahead.
So we have appointed reps in China and Uganda. They've received all our digital marketing material earlier this week. Have already received amazing feedback, extremely positive, and I believe orders are to follow shortly. Also, a Dubai company is pushing us hard for exposure of Mr. Jin to its customers. Mr. Jin also has been forwarded to agents in Israel and India. We can get some sales data from our guys at further notice once available. We have 4 possible investor and distribution agents throughout the country of Uganda that want main contract deals, and China has received the product and received it with a lot of welcome arms. That's from those 2 so far, and I'm learning that with you right now.
Oh my gosh, those are big names. Those are very reputable places, and they're loving. That's the thing. They're loving the product, y'all, and that's what matters. It could be the best NFT project, the best marketing, everything, but if the product is just not there, it's just not going to make it. And so, oh, that's so amazing. Congratulations. That's so cool. Y'all check it out. It's over here. I put the link in the chat. Go ahead. Get you an NFT, Mr. Jin NFT. I mean, that's cheap. $305 USD.
It's a 0.2 NFT, but I think there's one person that's 1.9 below.
Yeah, like, you know how many people throw that away in a Degen play? Like 150, and then boom, they're like, wait, I gotta play one more, and then there's the other one. There's your Mr. Jin NFT. There's your passive income. No, y'all check it out. I know everybody that's here is super smart. You know what an investment is. This is a true investment, and everything you just said blows my mind. What other partnerships do you have going down the pipeline? You already have buyers for the product, so what other partnerships do you have?
Okay, I have literally just been sent something over David, but I can't tell you, so sorry.
Oh. Look at that smile, everybody. Look at that smile, though.
All I can tell you is that the American market's going to be very happy.
Oh my God. I'm excited. You're getting me super excited.
See with you, I've got butterflies right now.
I can tell. I have goosebumps because I can tell you. I can just feel your excitement through this screen.
Again, like I said, David's very active. He's just sent me another message. He's also talking with a good friend of his who's actually very well established in Sweden, who's also going to be looking at the product, and he's meeting him later this week. So yeah, there's a lot in those three. There's a lot going on. Between those three alone, there is a lot going on. Where else do we start? Dorking Wanderers Football Club. That's actually a very Dorking Wanderers is a small local team, relatively small team. They're not that small, but they're relatively, and they actually started on a council field about 5 minutes away from our pub 24 years ago. It was just a group of kids that used to drink in a pub, put £5 each to hire a council pitch and just play football. That's what they used to do. They've now got to a stage where they are big in comparison. They have their own stadium. They're currently in the process of buying that out. They've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. But they are the one club in 24 years. I believe they've had something along the lines of 13 promotions. So they've gone up 13 divisions in 24 years. That in itself is an achievement. And being a team that started so locally to us now, it's that rocky underdog story that everybody loves. That's something that we would love to. We just decided we'd really want to have our name associated with that, and it's pretty much payments, deposits, everything's been done. Waiting on contract to be signed. Again, few things have been delayed because of my health, but it's all going on track now, and I think they should be making the official announcement in the next 5 to 7 days.
Oh my goodness, I saw a tweet about it. I can't find it amongst your busy Twitter page that you have going on, which is another positive sign to me. It was I saw it. Yeah, if you're checking this out, you're seeing how active this Twitter page is, which is amazing. And if you think about it, as you were speaking, I was thinking, how odd is this? Like, that's another something organic that just happened to you and this company as well. It's like everything's falling into place at the right time. And it is. And I saw this tweet when you put this up. I was like, I'm so glad he's coming in tomorrow, because look, Tim says this. I see Mr. Jin is attending the Hotel Industry Forum. Okay, if y'all don't know, first of all, who David Arnott is, he's a artist. He's a fine artist. Like, he's going to these art exhibits, these art shows, walk around with your wine, your gin, all the networking that's going on with all these art collectors that spend millions of dollars. That's the type of caliber of people we're talking about. Okay, that's just one. I just had to put it out there like that, Mr. Jin, because it's true. So we got Tim. He says, I see Mr. Jin is attending the Hotel Industry Forum in Portugal. Do you anticipate any new partnerships? This is big.
Okay, this is actually very big. So the format of this forum is pretty much there's, I believe, 70 to 80 buyers, and they are the key buyers for groups that'll be coming in. We've been asked to nominate a short list of, I believe, about 15 or 20. They've been asked to do the same as to what they want to meet. In terms of supply chain, there can only be 2 in each sector. So there will only be 2 drinks companies attending. There will only be 2 back of house kitchen equipment. There will only be 2 artworks for the walls. So every part of the hotel industry, there will only be 2 suppliers. And they, as a company, as a buyer, can choose who they want to have a conversation with. It happens over 4 days, casual environment, where they've basically booked out a 5-star hotel, all the 100 and whatever rooms there are. And it'll be pretty much like, oh, we've got, I'll give you a couple of these. So the Accor Group, the procurement director is going to be there. They have over 5,100 sites worldwide. So I've said I want to meet him. If I'm on his list, They'll be, oh, he's going to be at so and so place tomorrow morning having breakfast. Would you like to meet in poolside? You've got a 35-minute slot, and they literally book you in on a casual over 4 days with all everyone who's crossed over between the two of you in your who you want to meet, and then after that, then the hotels are then given priority. Then there might be other hotels that wanted to meet me that I didn't put on the list.
Oh, more networking, right there.
I mean, I've got the list in front. You've got stuff like the Amensis Hotels and Resorts. They've got 22 sites. I know by far Born Leisure has over 100 sites. I mean, there's some that are in there that are just astronomical. They're I mean, I think that in terms of name wise, Green King, who is actually a pub chain who has hotels as well, based in the UK, who who is somebody who we wanted to get involved with, and they've just kind of fallen on our lap because the procurement team is going to be there. So rather than us trying to find a meeting with the right person, he's actually going to be there anyway. So that's,
You have really good coins in the Karma Bank, Mr. Jin.
the other one is the Marriott International is going to be there.
The Marriott will be there as well.
Yeah, that they've got 8,500 sites.
Can you imagine? Oh, there's David. What is up? We got Crypto Benny here. What is up, Crypto Benny? We got David. David, were your ears ringing? We were just talking about you. What a fine artist you are, sir. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, Mr. Jin was just raving about you. We're excited about that partnership with David. I'm excited about this as well. And obviously Tim is, by putting that in the chat. Like, I never knew they even had things like this. And that's really smart for the hotels and all the networking for like businesses like yours. So, and they're going to love your product. They're going to love it. And you know they are.
it's a, so we've got that little extra. We paid that little bit extra to be there, and we paid that little bit extra to set up a display stand, actually have our product there for them to just help themselves and drink. Have which is where all these little corporate gifts idea boxes came in, because they're all
beautiful. By the way, I had to just I was like, these are perfect little gifts, everybody. Okay, sorry, Mr. Jin.
So they're perfect and they're beautiful, but if you went into if you came to a meeting with me and then you got a little box with that plus the company information brochure and then NFT information brochure, all that in a nice little box, and the little cocktail menus behind, so you can open up. It's actually got the cocktails of the how to make with the gins.
Let me see, is there a picture of it in here?
I think I did see it on the Twitter page you were just looking at.
Right, I know, because I've been switching on. Okay, hold on, because Chaka shows it really good in his. Okay, right here.
Yeah, so that over there is a fold-out cocktail menu, and it gives you instructions how to make a cocktail with each one of those gins.
That's so cool. That got really popular in 2020 as well. Like them. So you're even caught up to the times of, if anything, even, I mean, God forbid, like that happened, you even have something like that already set, ready to go. So you're building the foundation. You're taking off all at the same time.
Well, I mean, I've posted these pictures, and the team have posted these pictures while I wasn't around, and I've had Empire Drinks give me a call, and what the hell is that? What is that? And they were just like, oh, it's just miniatures for this. I'm going to give them the samples for Portugal. Give me prices. I want that. I know hotel people abroad as well. So it just expands itself. It's an organic thing. If you try things, what we found is if you try and control the direction of your business, because when this actually started, and it started in lockdown, and it started with me telling my wife or begging my wife, let me take a risk with a bit of money and let me do a brand, and let me and all we wanted to do was open up a little portable gin bar, take it from venue to venue, and sell some gin and make some money. That's all we wanted to do. But then from the feedback, from response, from the brand, from the work, from everything, if something is growing organically and it's taking direction, I would be wrong to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just and especially when it just feels like it's going the right way.
It
It,
is.
it's I don't know how long before I'm going to change my trainers to get the next to carry on running with it, but currently it's going at fast pace.
And it looks to me like you just got the best news ever. Like best news ever. So it just continues to grow every single time. Look, I don't know how to say your name, JJ. Really need to stop talking over him. Well, JJ, first of all, this is my show. Second of all, Mr. Jin, I'm super excited. I'm sorry if I'm being rude, but I really am excited about this. Like, look, I didn't even notice that in the background, the mix, how you have direction, like instructions how to do that. Like you've thought everything out, and this all just started from a humble idea of just going around. How did you make? Do you make this, or who came up with the recipes? I'm curious about that.
So we started in lockdown ourselves, but then obviously, like with anything, with making something yourself locally, and then being able to scale it is you can't grow like that. So you have to at some point then say, this is my recipe, this is what I want, this is what we're working on, and register it, and then you get the right people to make it for you. The ones who
Okay.
can mass produce. I mean, we're currently in a position where our bottling is, and we knew that making gin is never going to be the issue. Bottling the gin is going to be the issue. Can you bottle it fast enough? Can you get the glass in fast enough? Unfortunately, this whole bad time we went through with COVID, it's put a lot of restrictions on a lot of things. The UK with Brexit has not helped either. The government putting up duty has not helped either. So there's a lot of things that have caused a lot of a cascade of issues. But at the end of the day, if issues come, you either work through them or you just go home. I can't even go home because I have NFT investors, and I've been so open about it. They know where I live. They can find me on company's house. It's actually got my address on there. You can find you don't even need to come to the pub. You could actually find my house.
Oh my gosh. So you're like extra doxed. You're like, I'm out here, but you're doing the damn thing.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing. I mean, I have profited from every single crypto I've ever invested in. 100%. It's a
Nice.
100% track record. I have not made money in every single one. In fact, I've lost the money in a lot of them. But I've always profited because I've always learned from them.
Mm.
And it's a case of you and I'm not going to say I didn't make money on some, because some of them I made a lot of money on, and I made good money on. But I have lost money in a lot of, which we're not going to go into names of what and when. But there are a fair few. But I learned what the devs did wrong. I learned what they should have done. I learned what would, in that position when that was going on, as an investor, what did I want to hear? What did I want to do? The fact that I couldn't see the face, or the fact that he wouldn't be on Telegram, it's an issue. So learning and profiting isn't necessarily about making money. It's about growing as a person, growing with responsibility. And I think that's the biggest thing that anybody, and I hope anybody in this space understands that, because markets will come and go, bull cycles will come in, and the next one will be bigger than this one. But if you don't have the knowledge or the capacity to grow with the market, or invest what's right for you, or not be sidetracked by other people what they say, do your research correctly. It's very important, and that this space teaches a lot about life. It teaches us a lot about business, because in essence that's what this is. NFTs, crypto, it is a business. It's not. If you want to gamble, go play poker.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's a business. That's what this is. But you're using blockchain the way, this is what blockchain is also for businesses. It's perfect. You're utilizing it. I think it's great how you're doing it. And the way that you want to continue it is important too. Like that is so important. You have to have that, because out here you'll find a lot of projects or companies is like, well, where do you plan on going next? And that's what I always run across during my research of a project. It's like, okay, if I only see past a certain point and I really can't see where they're going with a certain place, or it's not realistic, then I just I'll back away. And I know a lot of people do as well, because you've learned, we've grown, we've gotten a little bit more savvy with blockchain over the past year, crypto and NFTs. And so, people are learning, people have caught on, like, okay, who are you working with? What are you doing? The longevity, the product, you got the product, you got everything going for you. You got JJ sweeping the floor. You got JJ bought another one. That's awesome, JJ. Congratulations. I'm going to pull these up again, everybody. I'm going to drop this link in the chat in case anybody is interested in getting one of these really, really quick. And all right, Mr. Jin, continue letting us know. I just had to add that in there really quick, that JJ bought some, and here's the link, everybody. All right, Mr. Jin, what else you got for us?
Okay. I actually did get a message from Crypto JJ earlier, and I got one from Crypto Benny as well directly, and there were valid questions. So I think they should be answered in that. With these miniatures, how do we get them, and how do maybe we can use them to promote the brand, because people are pushing it on Twitter and socials, but giving it to a local pub landlord and I'm not saying it doesn't work, but what tends to happen is the way the structure works is I own the bar, you with the best of intentions will come up to me and say, try this product, it's fantastic, and this is the website where you can buy it from. Now, I buy all my gins, my vodkas, my rums, my beers, my ales, my wines from XYZ. Am I really going to come to you every week to top up my order, or pay a separate delivery charge every week for that order? Generally, 9 times out of 10, that wouldn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't work all the time, because a lot of it is to do with the support you give them as well. And as a company on regional levels, we do a lot. So it doesn't work. The way we want our holders and the community as a whole, whether you're holding the NFT or not, to help is just walk into a bar. Have you got Mr. Jin? You know full well they haven't got Mr. Jin. They hear it often enough from enough people, they will make an inquiry, what is Mr. Jin?
They will, and it's simple.
It's simple. You don't need to send the product out. You don't need to stock the product. You don't need to. If somebody wants to try and I'm talking within the UK at this point right now, wants to get involved and say, okay, I might be able to do something on a regional level, or I want to get involved in the business, I'm happy to talk to you, because obviously I'm not export, because we've given that to the other 2 companies to deal with, and they're dealing with it. But in the UK, anybody who wants to come on board and have a discussion about how they can help the project, I'm more than happy to listen to them. We've always been open with that and transparent with that. But in terms of giving samples, I've had one person that I've been working with. They've given away. Okay. So he's actually one of the guys in the pictures that I actually did send you earlier today. He was at the bar, and he will walk around and with his sample bag, and he'll go, "Oh, by the way, can I speak to the person in charge for buying?" "Oh, they're not here. I can give it to." "Okay, cool. When are they here?" "I'll be back." He will not leave a sample until he doesn't speak to the right person.
Good.
But then when he sits down with that person, if that guy wants to drink a whole bottle, he'll give him a whole bottle to drink. That's not a
And I'm
problem.
sure they do. They do all the time. Look at that.
They don't. They don't. But the thing is, what you'll find is the majority of people in this industry, they are quite responsible when it comes to this side of their business because they understand it's their livelihood. Personally, even though I do drink in my pub, I don't get drunk in my pub. You have to be level-headed. I tend, to be honest, I tend not to drink much anyway. But when I do, I do. It's a let's get our system, get everybody together, have a good evening, and make a whole event out of it, and we do. So, so in terms of exposure, that is a very good way to do it. If each person had 5 people within their area, and with the amount
Mhm.
of overlapping going on, and as a landmass, the UK, some are big, US is big, UK is small. If you had, if a bar has within a space of a week, 10 days, 2 or 3 people asking the bar staff, "What's Mister? Do you have Mister Gin? Have you got that new pineapple, Mister Gin? Do you have a strawberry, Mister Gin?" That is going to feed up the ladder. That makes our job that much easier to sell the product. And on
Mhm.
every bottle that's sold, that's that much benefit that that NFT holder holds. It's just
So
that one big.
the passive revenue, see, that's what they're gonna want, because I mean, you can be part of the company and everything with buying the NFT, right? With the passive income. I just got a message right now. They were like, I want to know more how the numbers of what I'm gonna get with the NFT. I want to buy one right now. Okay, there we go. Really quick.
So, so on your point to purchase of an NFT, the way the NFTs work, there are 1,000 NFTs in the market,
Mhm.
uh, and it equates to. Uh, I have to be very careful how I word this to be correct. Uh, it is an 8% markup on the cost of the product, which is basically we're putting it down as a finance fee. So we don't pay interest, we don't pay, but the dividends that are earned and the returns that are earned are based on the cost, not on the profit of the company. Because obviously, being if you're a profit, if you're based on the profit, then we don't want to be sitting here having a conversation. Why did you give away this many bottles? Why did you spend money on this? Why did you do money on that? I mean, I've been, my company's been running for almost 6 years, and out of that, we've been, since product development, we're talking over 2 years about Mr. Gin.
Mhm.
Uh, since then, from Mr. Gin, I haven't touched a salary.
Where is your new white paper? That's what I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to pull. I saw it on 2 Bits video, like while we're talking.
It's on the Smiling Pub Company. It's the white. It's the version 3 of white paper. If you scroll down,
Okay, okay.
NFTs on the no. If you go back up, go back up.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah. So if you do the NFTs,
Mm-hmm.
go for that.
There.
If
Okay.
you, and it's at the bottom there. It says version 3.
I was like, I know I saw this before whenever I did my video. Where's it at, Mr. Jen?
Like that. Yeah.
I want them to buy theirs right now because they've asked about it before in the
Yeah.
NFT space. So I know they're interested in buying this, like legit. Okay, there you go. There y'all go. Can you see it on your side, Mr. Jin? Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
I mean, so the way it works is it's an 8% of the cost of the product that gets added on, and that's the NFT that gets paid towards the NFTs. And we're very transparent. 7.5% out of the 8% gets paid to the end. 0.5% is held for the actual transfer fees. That gets divided over the 1,000 NFT holders.
There we go.
Um, and it quite simply is the more bottles we sell, the more we've made the maths simple because we based it on bottles, but the maths isn't actually done in bottles; it's actually done in liters of gin or liters of alcohol.
Okay.
But to make the maths simple, 8% of every NFT sold, of every bottle bought. The cost they add 8%, out of which 0.5% goes for the transfer expense. 7.5% actually gets divided over the NFT holders.
And there's only 1,000 NFTs, y'all.
The two biggest accounts between them, they hold over just over. The two biggest accounts they hold 300 NFTs.
That is nice. I have an investor of yours. She's from the Vault family. You met her on a space before. She keeps on wanting to add more and more NFTs. We got Jen token in the space cabin. Jen, what's up, Mr. Jen?
Hello. Hey, Mr. Jen, how are you?
Not bad.
I'm well, thank you. Sorry, I talked to Space Chick about coming on, and then I was busy doing things that I forgot. So nice to meet you.
And you likewise.
Thank you. I grabbed a hat and I said to my kid, "Get out of the way! You're in my spot."
I'll move, kid. I'm over here talking numbers, NFT returns breakdown. You better move. See, you see when she came in, Mr. Jen? You see, the time was perfect, Jen. That was and y'all, this is Jen token. Yes, she bought some Mr. Jen NFTs. It's so funny because I had a feeling you were gonna buy some NFTs, Jen. I was like, I know she's totally gonna dig this. We had somebody from the Vault Army hit me up right now asking me about the NFTs breakdown. They want to buy an NFT right now, so that's what we were doing before you came in, Mr. Jen. What else you got for us with these numbers, sir?
Okay, so I think there's actually a page that scrolls next on. I think it's the next page regarding the return that you get.
Okay, there we go. Is that better? Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so this is an example case study. It's not current sales. We'd love to be there relatively soon in comparison to where we are, but this is based on the 10% of sales of Gordon's gin in 2021, just the standard gin, not the flavored. And this is basically a case study that if they were working on the same model we are, what your returns would be. I mean, Gordon's gin is huge. They're owned by a distributor, a company called Diageo. They are big. But the difference is Gordon's is at least in the UK, a very basic brand that is stack them high and send them quick. It's not what we do. It's not the way we operate. It's not the way we work. We want to provide a quality product, and we appreciate and understand the fact that it takes us a little bit longer to get to where we are. There's no reason it can't, or even based on these figures, even if we can get to 10% of the share that they have, if we get to a 10% on a $305 NFT, the return is $10,000 a year.
Mm.
It's purely and this is where the mechanics work. You don't need buys and sells. You don't need. The idea is we need the NFT holders' money to grow the business. The NFT holders get rewarded for holding our business just by holding it. So from the business. So in essence, it's got nothing to do with buys, sells, taxes. There are taxes there. There is a 5% sell tax, which is currently being used in collaboration, part of it with Vault, part of it with David Arnott. So there is use for it. There never was. We weren't counting on that money. So we weren't looking to spend that money. We weren't looking at the income anyway. But why not make good use of it? Why not help communities that are helping us, projects that are helping us, people that are helping us?
Mm-hmm.
And that's that part came into it.
Mr. Jim, we have with that Vault Inu partnership, because we talked about it at length in that NFT space on even streams like vaulted YouTube creators. We've had streams about it. Ask the Vault Jen, I know you're interested too. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with that because the Vault Army has not been asked yet by Vault Toshi. with that partnership, like what y'all are going to do, but it's super interesting what, the offer you brought to the table. I mean, we were all shocked by it in the fact that you weren't, like, that money is just to the side. Like you said, like you have certain things like in place. Like you would never have to, like you could hold on to it for a year, right? The NFTs, if you bought the floor of the Vault of Dragons NFTs.
Like I said, in our case, we weren't counting on the money from the buys and sells of the RNFT or our project. So we have no interest in selling the floor on any other project that we support, because it's that project that supported us. Because we're not counting on that money. It's a moot conversation. Why would you? I mean, the people that are helping you, why would you go shoot them in the foot? I'm sure at the end of the day, if there was, I don't know, if somehow I managed to, so the way that deal worked was a quarter of the NFTs. So from the September, every single NFT sold on OpenSea, a quarter of the royalties made out of that would go back to buying the floor on either the NFTs for Vault or the token, whatever the community decides. And it's being done for the 1 month as a trial to see how it works. For me, it can carry on. It's fine. And I just see it as, for me it's beneficial to just leave it there as just asset. As a company, it just makes financial sense to keep it in the company as asset. It makes my company look good. Why would I get rid of it? Tomorrow, one thing we've been looking at is looking at the possibility of, and like I told you earlier, the issue is always how quickly you can bottle your gin, not how quickly you can produce it. So if we can buy enough Vault to actually have a steady amount there and have it sat there and go to a crypto friendly bank and say, this is how much Vault we hold, we're willing to lock it up. Against that, can you finance us the production, the money to actually build our own bottling line on assembly line? So that's where we can use that Vault to help us grow even further as a company. We don't need to sell it to do that. We can use the fact that it's within the company, and it makes our company look good because it's that much more assets sitting on our balance sheet.
Yeah, and a lot more fans, Vault Army fans. What do you have for Miss Jen? What do you have for Mr. Jen?
I think it's a great idea for a partnership because, I mean, in a lot of ways, there's on your end getting your NFTs sold, and I think I think that I have some ideas on how we can help sort of push the Mr. Jin NFTs out, and we can talk about that. But I like what you just said around being able to use Volt as a leveraging asset for your company as well, right? And I think that you understand sort of the Volt project and how big it is, right? And what the future looks like for it, right? So I think that that's a massive advantage for your company moving forward. To be able to lock up those assets, whether you're using Volti Eco, whether you're using Volti Flex, when it comes out, Volt is going to blow, right? So if you have that in your portfolio moving forward, I mean, it's a win-win for both, right? So, and the partnership, the friendship between the two companies, right? Press between the two of us back and forth. It's a great friendship that always works very well. We're going into the bull markets and we're able to sort of share each other back and forth. It's a win-win, all around.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the is done is half of it will go to David Arnott because he again, there is NFT more than just what's there in terms of NFT involvement for David. there is something a lot bigger down the line, and it may not. I hope you're not going to shoot me, David, but it may not just be David. Um, I think he may be bringing a lot of other people with him to the table. So it's a huge, and I mean we're talking names that I don't even know, but all I know is when I Google them or when I go onto their page, all right, 65,000 followers, 140,000 followers, 90,000 followers, and that's the caliber of people that he's bringing. So to have your Twitter page or your social media page and have 90,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and we're talking active followers from his industry, not ours, and then to collaborate all those people into one project and introduce it to NFT and crypto, it just it expands a lot.
Oh my.
So there's a lot in the pipeline, that even though, like I said, for me, it's about the growth, and I don't best to know everything about Vault. In fact, comparatively, I probably know very little about Vault. But one thing I do know about Vault is the spaces that I've been in, and the conversations I've had, and the community I've met. That's what attracts me to Vault. It's because I could quite easily just go and hold Bitcoin on my books and do exactly what Elon Musk does with Tesla, but then he pumps and dumps the crap out of it. What's the point? You might as well do something that is I don't know. I just find that the community space, and especially there's a couple of communities that definitely one of them that I just feel they're going places, and they're not willing to leave that one person behind. They will drag them with them and keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
Which is important because that's where we were. That's how we started. So I think, and that's what I think will make collaboration work.
There's a lot of things falling in place, which is crazy. Like he was on the phone a little bit ago, Jen, and he got a message. And he's smiling right now. He's not done talking to these people.
I'm literally getting messages right now as we speak.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I got super stoked. Yeah, it's exciting because everything's just falling into place. And Jen, there was something that I didn't know. I have to say this I know she'll appreciate this, Mr. Jen. Him and his wife were just starting out as just like a humble little company, little business they were going to do and go around. And now look at this. Like this has turned into a huge, huge deal. And I know I see, okay, Mr. Jen, it's hard because I know you and I have had conversations before. So yeah, JJ, you're right. I need to be quiet because I don't know what I can say. Can't say. So that breaking news though about the artist, I love that because that is where you're gonna just that industry alone, like you said, and all the networking that David and all the beautiful artwork. And then all the buys that are already coming in because your product is just so wonderful. And I like what you said. You said it's not about making it, it's about bottling it fast enough. That's a beautiful thing to be worried about.
This is it. It's when you actually get into it, you don't realize what's going on and what's happening. But I never thought I'd be in a position where we could produce so much liquid, but we can't bottle it fast enough, or we can't get the label run fast enough, or if you're trying to use X amount of speed on a machine that's supposed to do Y, the labels are coming out crooked, and that's not acceptable either. So you start all over again. It's just there's so many little parts to this whole thing that it just kind of you don't realize how many compartments there are.
Oh my goodness. I just see you all the way over there on the other side of the world, Mr. Jin. I'm getting super stoked. They came out with a new white paper right now, Jin. I got to show you this really quick, okay? Because you're here, and I want to show everybody as well. The white paper. So you can go ahead and go on the website. Everybody, go on the website. You click on NFTs, their NFT tab, you'll see it. And then right here, Mr. Jin, NFT white paper V3. So he's even keeping up with keeping that updated. I love that. Just everything about this project and this company and the networking and the partnerships. And it's affordable. It's affordable and the product is really good. So that's something else that we have to keep in mind. It could be a great product and company, but if it doesn't taste good, well, I'm sorry, but you have different flavors going on with these bottles, I see. Mr. Jin, can we talk about any of that? I don't know. Can we say anything can you say anything?
Well, about new products.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the no nonsense gin reviews on YouTube? Can we talk about that? Did you guys already touch on that?
Oh yeah, we touched on that, how the dude loved the product. He's amazing, and he actually did not, they didn't pay him to do it, right, Mr. Jin? That was the first organic growth. Was that the first organic thing that happened, Mr. Jin? The
No.
YouTube video?
No. And this is how much of a family business we are, right? Our first organic growth was my father, who lives maybe about 2 hours away, went into his local pub and thought he could sell gin to the barmaid and attempted to sell her gin. Obviously, not know the product, not know anything. And I'm just thinking, oh, how did that go? And she was like, oh, she said it was really good, but she didn't buy it or the rest. I was like, okay, cool. At least you attempted. Now you got to remember, my dad's almost 70. Right, so for him to be there, and he's one of these, the old school, the ones that won't stop, the ones that just keep on going. That's my dad. And then all of a sudden, I get phone call after phone call. Did you speak to that woman? Did you call her? I gave you her number. And this, I'm just thinking, it's okay. It's one pub. It's about 2.5 hours away. It'll probably cost me more in postage and packaging to get her the product than profit. I was like, okay, fine. I said, look, I'm going to come and see you next week. I'll actually book an appointment. I actually went there and spoke to her. Now, this is the first organic growth. The woman I spoke to didn't buy the gin because her hands were tied, but she gave me a phone number to contact. That phone number was Empire Drinks, who currently handle our export business.
Whoa.
Isn't that something?
I got goosebumps. That is so neat. That is cool.
So I do a lot of that to my dad. Definitely, he made that happen. And I think it's even close to say he doesn't know it. He'll never leave it down, so I don't tell him.
Oh my goodness! You're like, yeah, you're my first plug, Dad. Thanks. That is amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about that company that you were just bringing up?
What, Empire Drinks?
That your dad brought you, Mr. Jin?
It was quite literally. It was in the middle of Harlow, Old Town, a small pub, and the woman was saying, "Yeah, we've got the owner of the pub has 3 pubs, but they make the decision. I just manage this for them." So, we quite frankly, we just sat there. We had about 4 gins each, sitting there talking. Actually, got on really well. She's a really nice person, and she was like, "Here, listen, I like you. Here's the number. This is the guy who supplies us. Speak to them." So the person who actually supplies them, because Empire Drinks, even though they deal with exports primarily, they have a distribution arm as well, which is what we're using to get into market. So they cover the whole of East London and going out further east of London. So it's interesting to say the least. Yeah, somebody's just bought something. Raw prices gone up.
pulling it up again. I know, that's what I was like, you know what? Hold on, let me pull this up again because I'm having some TG Telegram messages, and I saw like 2 of them, Mr. Jin. So if you have any questions for Mr. Jin while I check these, y'all can ask it in the chat. Don't be scared. Like, he's right here. I don't know why you're messaging me here. Message me here. It's okay. Maybe they're shy, I guess, for their questions. It's okay. What else do you have for Mr. Jin, Miss Jin?
Well, I've got to say that I think for sort of the community that's looking into, these NFTs, right? Things that impressed me was sort of this thorough breakdown. And one thing that I heard, because I rewatched Space Chick's review video yesterday, one of the things that I missed, in one of the first go rounds was that you'd even built in, should we sell the company, what happens to the NFT holders there? Right. And I thought, like, how brilliant, right? And I missed that forethought going forward, right? It's good for, people that are wondering, right? Because this is a more unique utility, in real world life, right? And so, for people to know, like, that kind of thing is built in automatically, right? Like, there's a whole percentage. I think it was something, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it like 6% of the total profit is built and to be set aside towards the NFT holders, right?
No, it'll be 6% of the actual sale value of the company or the brands.
Yeah. So, but like
it'll be because obviously the profit will have whatever expenses need to come out, and all the like we've kept everything clean for the NFT holders. It's before the expenses, so we've even decided to do that before the expenses. And I mean, okay, so everybody's had their little gold nuggets. So I'll drop my one to you as well, which is I've only ever told 3 people, because I've been asked by quite a few people, what price would I sell at? At what point would I sell off Mr. Jin or the company? Mm-hmm. And only 3 or 4 people, I believe, have ever been told that answer. So I'll actually make the announcement. So I'll let you know at what point for me, Mr. Jin will have reached a point where I can no longer carry on and move it bigger. And then obviously I have to take into account that the next person will not be paying NFT holders dividends, so I have to look after them as well. But I work 24/7. So my sell price for my brand and my company and my project and everything that we've built up is 247 million.
That's good. 247 million, you said?
That's right. So at your leisure afterwards, when you want to do the maths, 6% of 247 million gets divided over to the NFT holders. That's the basic end maths.
Right.
That's the thank you very much for helping us. Goodbye.
Right.
Nice. Thank you.
I can't tell you how long it's going to take. I can't tell you how much work we'll have to do to get there. I can't tell you how many dividends I'll have to be paying you to get there, because obviously every 3 months I'll be giving you dividends as well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You have so many customers already wanting this. And then Jin, did you see this tweet? Hold on, Mr. Jin, this is worth mentioning again. 1 second. We learned all about this, Jin. You have to scroll back and listen to this part of the live stream. But let's go to their Twitter really quick. Mr. Jin's Twitter. Look at that hotel industry forum. He's going there. They're going to test it out. He's going to make new friends. I already know, by the way you're getting your reviews, live reviews, you're getting them from so many people, and then y'all going here. That's a huge move. Like, this is something you want to see. You want to see, Jin go to hotel industries. You want that. Healthcare forum. But yeah, the hotel industry, I cannot believe that. Was mind blowing whenever I saw that. I said, oh my goodness, this is so much bigger. And then when I first did my review video, like, I need another review video, Mr. Jin. He's like, yes.
If you go to the white paper,
let's go.
Scroll further down.
All right.
So obviously you've made there's amendments on the roadmap that I think it'd be very good for whoever's got the old one and the new one to compare. The new one actually has a few dates that have been put into place for things like that. a few changes that have been made to expectancies and what those were. Like as we spoke earlier about Dorking Wanderers, and their announcement should be around the 15th ish regarding the. And again, it's a sponsorship for a football club. People won't see the importance or the foresight of it, but that collaboration brings us pitch side Mr. Gin boards on the side that goes onto television on the corner every time a corner is taken going towards goal. It gives that board is going to be facing in the corporate VIB box. So when you're looking out watching the game, you're going to see Mr. Gin on the other side of the pitch constantly there when you're sitting in the corporate boxes, when you're the commentator. It's that having that background. Mr. Gin is replacing 4 gins or 5 gins within the existing collection in the bar. So there is only going to be 3 Mr. Gins and 2 other unflavored gins within that bar. So Mr. Gin is going to have 60% of the bar, the gin sales in that bar, or the gin exposure in the bar. We're talking about the way the product is created for people who don't necessarily like gin. They have a phobia of gin. Because gin has a very bad reputation. The mother's ruin, the gives you headache, the depressant. There's just so many things, but there isn't. Honestly, it's amazing what's been made out. I'm not going to say influencers, but I think there's a lot of influence going there somewhere. So our idea was, how do we make the gin different? I mean, if I tell you, name me a cocktail that you like to drink, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be either vodka based or rum based. Why can't it be gin? Why has nobody made a product that is good enough as a product standalone, irrespective of NFTs, irrespective of sales, brand, whatever? Why can't you make a product in a bottle that actually tastes good to drink? It can't be that difficult. And that was the mindset when we actually started. And if you scroll down after these pages, that will bring us on to our HRC collaboration here.
Here we go. Yes.
The Mr. Gin Mixologist of the Year competition, which is UK based. It's national. We are looking at it, the whole timeline is there. What's happening, when it's going to happen. Basically, we are looking at you could be a bartender, you can be an experienced mixologist, you can just be a person who owns a pub, or your parents might own a pub and you think you can have a dab hand and try. It costs you nothing. All it's going to cost is whoever is sponsoring you, i.e. the venue, the pub, the bar, the restaurant, the hotel, to set up a corporate account and buy the gin cheaper from us rather than you paying full price. Go and practice, make your cocktails, enter the competition. You could, worst case scenario, the final 10, the top 10 will actually be the final 10 cocktails will be featured in our next 2023-2024 cocktail menu, which will be going nationally to all of our customers. The menu will have recognition for the sponsoring venue as well as the bartender. So if you are a bartender that wants to get your name out there, because obviously that brings value to your name being mentioned brings value to you, what you can charge as a bartender, as a mixologist. It's a notch to have under your belt. And if you've got somebody like, fine, Mr. Gin is a startup, but HRC has been around for years. They are going to be mailing this information out to 250,000 people monthly. That's how big their reach is, and it's all corporates within the industry. As a venue who's sponsoring the bartender, you could potentially win £1,000 voucher to come and spend on the Mr. Gin website, buy glassware, buy gin, buy whatever you want, £1,000 worth for nothing, just because the guy you supported actually got well and got to the final. Again, the bartender themselves wins a holiday for 2 to Portugal.
That is amazing.
Sweet.
That's cool.
The biggest thing about the whole thing is the final 3 is held in March 2024 at the HRC at the Excel Centre in London, which annually brings in 30,000 people over 3 days. So you're basically the finals being done live at the HRC in front of about 10 to 12,000 people in their main kitchen.
Goodness. And that's really mainstream. Like that's a big deal. A lot of people are getting into that, like getting into the mixology and becoming a mixologist in those competitions. I've been seeing them on TV. Have you seen those? Those are pretty fun to watch, right, Jen? Have you seen them?
They are, yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling a little bit envious now that I can't enter. You know?
You gotta fly out there. You got it, Jen.
But I have put it on my bucket list for when I'm able to travel overseas that I'm going to go and meet Mr. Jin. That's on my list at least. So
yes,
you know, I always tell people that if they don't like gin, they're not doing it right. Right? They're just not drinking the right gin. So, you know, now I have heard, you know, that you drinking your gin with tonic is supposed to bring out the flavors, but I actually think that if you're drinking a good enough gin, then you can drink it with soda water. That's how I drink mine. And because I don't like sweet personally, right? So I find you know, for me the best gin, if you're drinking a good enough gin, you can drink it with soda water, and that's what I always look forward to, something that because I want to taste the gin, right? And I loved the reviews, and so I encourage anybody to go and watch the reviews that were done by No Nonsense Gin Maker on these gins, because he was blown away, right? And I love a good, you know, dry gin, right? But these gins, it sounds like they are made for people who, you know, are, you know, not sophisticated gin drinkers, but also know what they're doing with gin, right? So I really look forward to getting my hands on one of these, you know. So I'm gonna order away. I'm gonna send away and get my hands on some bottles. You know, I don't drink pineapple, but I'm definitely, you know, going to try that strawberry, which I know is going to be sweet. But strawberry with pepper, who thought that up, right? With lime and pepper, where did that idea come from?
Strawberry and black pepper.
You've got strawberry, lime, and pepper. Yeah.
So strawberry and lime is a very, because obviously the lime brings out the zest of the lime brings out the sweetness, but strawberry and pepper is a very old, I believe it's Edwardian time. You know, it's a very English way of eating strawberries. The housewives in the Edwardian time used to eat black pepper with their strawberries.
Really?
And I only found that out while we were researching, and that just kind of spiked the curiosity, and it worked. I know a lot of things that I say it just happened and it just worked, because it's the way it's happened. It's just the way that everything's happened. It's just I made a phone call to another, I put a message out to another influencer, and they're like, I know who you need to speak to, and he put me in touch with Space. Everything's just happened. I don't know how it's happened. It's just happened. It's nice when it happens like that, to be honest.
It sounds like you asked the right questions.
Mm-hmm. His dad started all. His dad is his earth angel. Look at him. Look at him. See, you should never have told us girls that. No, I'm just joking. I think that's a cool story. And that's what Tim said too. That is neat, because that just shows that was the first sign right there. Like, this is how to get something done. You know, you want to do it, just go straight to the source. And he, you know, he put good karma coins in the karma bank, is what I'm trying to say. Because everything he's saying, it's like one thing after another. Like, just the networking has flowed. And I really think that it's the product itself. It speaks for itself. And that's why, like what you said, you're like, I'm in the business to sell gin. I'm in the business to sell gin. This NFT stuff, it will take care of its own. Like, because you know a lot about the NFTs, you know a lot about the industry, you know, the gin industry, you know a lot about the NFTs, you do. So tell us a little bit more. Do you plan on dropping any more NFTs in the future, possibly, or you don't want to talk about it or anything like that?
There is NFT plans in the future. There is more than just Mr. Gin NFTs, and they correlate with other products. But the way we want to do it is, we want the Mr. Jin NFT holders to benefit on the other benefit. Everybody will benefit, but Mr. Jin NFT holders, they're obviously supporting us at ground roots. So they should get a bigger reward or the same reward for a lower investment on the next rounds. There are, and this was actually another question. There are 3 rounds of NFTs that will be coming that are going to be coming out, and the way it works is Mr. Jin NFTs will then have a hugely or a reduced rate of purchase and pre-sale on the next ones, and then subsequent one as well. But the reason and the format is the same. It's all on the product range. The dividends, nothing is based on buys and sells. Everything is based on you've got this product, it can generate this much revenue, and this is the return the NFT holder is going to get. The only difference is going to be currently you're paying 0.2 of an ETH for an Mr. Jin NFT, but you may be in a position where the next set of NFTs might have a value of 0.5, but you may only pay 0.15 because you hold Mr. Jin NFTs. Example. Again, the sell price of the NFTs is going to be determined about what we need financially to get the next range of products to market. So it's not going to be a money grab. It's going to be now we can put the price up because we've seen how it works. We're not, like I said, we need to sell the product. We don't need to sell the NFTs, but we recognize the fact that we need the NFT sold to be able to develop the products and not develop the products because we're doing that out of pocket, but to make the products and stock the products. The only thing I'm fully aware of is that it just makes the next range of NFTs they will go a lot faster because it's, I'm going to combine 2 things because I actually did get a question about this as well myself. The revenue will come in, so we won't have 3 pots or 4 pots or whatever it is for the different products and the dividends for NFTs. Mr. Jin NFT holders, you're getting X amount, it's divided over the 1,000 NFT holders. Now you could counter argue that when you put another 1,000 NFT, the next set of NFTs will also be 1,000 and the one after will be 1,000 because it has to be 1,000 to keep the percentages fair for the Mr. Jin holders. So you can't have 1,000 of one and a 500 or 2,000 of it. It has to be consistent for the maths to work. But the way it would work is Mr. Jin NFTs, I want people to be reinvesting, getting bulk out. So when the next one does drop, and you will get Mr. Jin NFT holders will get that information beforehand, before market, that this is coming out within the next 60 days or 90 days. So they can start gathering up whatever funds they want to be investing into that because they will have the head start and they will have the reduced rate. But the revenue will then be divided over the 2,000 NFTs. So now all of a sudden you've got a product that started from low levels when NFTs became in. It's built its place in the market. It started exporting. It's got the distribution network sorted out. And now you're just dropping the next product in. So when you drop the next product in, you'll automatically get an explosion of sales because you now have to fulfill all this demand because all of a sudden all these bars and restaurants and hotels will have that shelf space available to you, and you just need to. It's not you waiting for them to sell it to buy the next one. So initially you'll get a huge surge of sales, which is what we're trying. Which is where I was hinting earlier that maybe we do need to look in locking up the vault to be able to then set up our own bottling plant, because it will take away a big problem for us. And then when we have to do it the 3rd time, it will take away an even bigger problem for us because we will have the infrastructure in-house to be able to deal with this. So it's with giving away a fair bit, but not too much. It's mathematically it's not going to be possible for us to divide 3 pots up of money because a person could come in and say, I want 20 bottles of X, 50 bottles of Y, and 100 bottles of Z. For us, mathematically, to divide all those funds up and then work out the 8%, and it's just chaos. So you get that instant income for, because you're holding Mr. Gin, all of a sudden you're going to have the next product, and bang, you might have a market placement there for 100,000 bottles UK and another 500,000 bottles worldwide. That means all of a sudden, instantly, 600,000 bottles have to go out into the market. And then Mr. Gin will benefit from that. And then the people who are coming in the new one, they will benefit from that, but then they will also benefit from the Mr. Gin sales as well. So fine, Mr. Gin sales will lose a little bit, but they will get a whole new product range that will be sold, which they will benefit from. And that will basically happen 3 times.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm going to put it back on this NFT page off. You're just tuning in, listening to this beautiful, beautiful company / project. You've got to check it out. All the official links are in the description box below. And this is USD $322. If you missed any of this right now, go hit that replay after we're done though. Hit the replay because he dropped a lot of info in this about, what's going on, the partnerships, everything. This is a great company and project. Like, I would not be talking about this if I wasn't, if I didn't like it. Jen would not be here if she didn't like it. She's invested. Mr. Jen, you're doing the damn thing, sir. You're doing the damn thing. Is there anything that you I know you're a busy man, is there anything that you would like to tell people before we go to Dave? Because I would like for you to come back. Like, I don't know if you're available to come back next week or when, but I would love to have you back in here and we can talk more about it.
I'm definitely happy to come back. Just over the next couple of weeks, I'm flying to Portugal twice.
Good. Hey,
for the event.
He's like, Elizabeth, I am busy.
I'm building the thing.
No. I'm definitely more than happy. I've just got distracted because I actually got a message from David as well, and he's basically said, just put a date on your calendar for the 1st or the 2nd of December. And watch his face.
I'm trying to like really contain my excitement right now. Anytime you bring up David, I get super excited. David, I love you and I don't even know you. Just so you know, like, even Mr. Jin, you bring light to his face. Look at this.
But he's very, like I told you, he's very enthusiastic, and he's very adamant that 1st or 2nd of December, watch his space, and maybe we should be having a live with quite a few influencers. They'll be that big. But thing is, he hasn't told me what it is, so I need to find out. So I have to also watch his space. But if he normally tells me something, he gives me a day. It's solid. It's a day.
Good. See, exciting things down the pipeline for Mr. Jin, and you guys are always showing up at these NFT spaces. You have, people doing review videos out here in YouTube space, and y'all are hitting up the NFT space as well. Like, it's not just talking on YouTube about your company. You guys are out here in the NFT world, like really hitting up those spaces, and that's important. Continue doing that because, I mean, they need to hear about it. The NFT space is wanting something refreshing also. And I think this would this is a nice breath of fresh air. What do you think, Jen? Do you have any questions for Mr. Jen before we let him go today?
No questions. I think that pun about this being a real refreshing, type NFT, I love it, and I love, I think that Mr. Jin is really good at just giving updates. And I love that there are such ongoing updates. It's fascinating. Your project has moved so quickly right? But I am thrilled for the success that you are having. You guys are so young as a company. Your story, having really picked up. You just started this since the pandemic. Right? I'm just so happy for you. And I haven't even had a sip of the gin yet. But I have a real sense of where you guys are headed, and I'm pleased. I'm really happy to be following the journey and to have a small piece of it. So and I hope to collect more and more of it. So just much congratulations. I look forward to being a part of it.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's always good to hear, and the support as always has been phenomenal. Like it's whether it's NFTs and Twitter or YouTube and influencers and just companies on LinkedIn and social media but just photos on Instagram. It's just because we try to do all the networks across everything, we're trying to keep, because NFTs generally associated with Twitter. Sorry, X. But because we're trying to run this as the company, you've got to keep the corporate hat on, you've got to keep the product hat on, and then you've got to keep the Web3 hat on. You've got to keep it all going on. But across all the people we've met, and it's been amazing. And I have to thank you guys, all of you. It's been
like David. He's excited. David's like ready. He put explosion emojis too, y'all. He didn't just put regular one. He's ready. Oh, these two men are totally talking right now. I'm super stoked. His smile, everybody, in the past hour and a half has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. I cannot wait to find out more. And I'm gonna be coming out with a review video, an updated review video this week, y'all, because there's a lot that I have to cover. Since when did I put that out? Like 2-3 weeks ago, and that's already grown that fast. They're on V3 white paper, and so many things have been checked off, and so many things new down the pipeline. So Mr. Jin, thank you so much for coming on through the Space Cabin. I appreciate you. This was his first time being doxxed on screen, Jin. So I feel super honored. He's amazing, right? I know you had fun. I had to send you an invite, Jin.
I appreciate it. I love being here. Fantastic to meet you face to face, and I hope to see lots of you.
Likewise. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to Space Chick Crypto. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and go get yourself Mr. Jin NFT. Go ahead and take a look at him. 0.2 ETH. Don't want to miss out on that. But check out all the official links in the description box below, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Drop the beat.